26, 1847 was a revolutionary act of defiance. Back then, we dared to be sovereign. In fact, our very existence as Africa's first Black republic inspired a race benighted. Lest we forget, our Declaration of Defiance happened nearly a century before independence movements began in earnest across this very continent.
Wake Up Call brings you political, social, economical, developmental, environmental, agriculture, educative, health, and security information on Blaze Radio 90.7 FM from Monday to Friday at 3 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Mr. Speaker, let me say this: it's only your job that the budget is order.
Information denied as premature.
Premature, right? The budget is authorized. Honor your government.
Your information is premature.
Remember, this time you need to recuse yourself because it is honor your government. Mr. Speaker, at this time you need to recuse yourself. Mr. Speaker, at this time you need to recuse yourself because it is honor your government. The budget is
to assist us in having a program and the seat.
It's clear from the laws in the Constitution. Unfortunately, one way to make this after, the Georgia worker who show up to protect the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia has persistently violated the Constitution. He has been parading and masquerading in the same schools of lies and deception. Soldiers in the foreign students of the University of Liberia, sons and daughters of the dejected masses of the Liberian people, and let me to extend to you, in keeping with massacred protocols, to extend to you warm revolutionary greetings from the indomitable revolutionary Bengal Student Education Party, Africa's most persistent, Africa's biggest hub of intelligentsia in the Republic of Liberia.
We have money on it because we bring money to the far. But anybody that bring money to the far, they don't need your interest tomorrow. They will say I pay for that food. Anyone not here before? Yeah. So they bring the money and you eat it. That free money, that stolen money. Because nothing you went hard for, you just take the far. You own the money for the far. That money what you wife for. A person should not be bribing people for vote. You should come and talk to your citizens, explain to them what you would like to do, and ask them for the food. If they can't bribe you, tomorrow you will not see you. But the men you so.
We cannot be living here and depending on Indians and Chinese and Taiwanese to feed us. And then we want to control the price. It's not possible. So we have to get to the soil. We have to start teaching our children to diversify what we eat. You go to other countries around here, they don't worry about rice price because they eat cassava a lot. They eat it in a different way. They eat it with food, they eat it with bamboo, they eat it with different corn and different things they eat. But for us in Liberia, the culture that if you don't eat rice, I'm not eating.
Reconciliation is okay. Prosecution is foolishness. You know what? Why did they choose TRC? Why did they choose TRC after that South Africa? I was not in Ghana. They went to Ghana and the international community put before Liberia, War Crime Code, and TRC. And they choose TRC. So why do you want TRC to metamorphose into War Crime Code?
You all have decided, made a conscious choice to step forward in these trying times to provide support for your different communities. It is an honor. Providing the service of protection means the world. And what you're doing today is a contribution towards the advancement and the development of this nation. And history will remember you very kindly.
We argue and counter-argue to find remedy in our society. Join your presenter, Achise Bonyele, on Wake Up Call from Monday to Friday at 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. on Blaze Radio 90.7 FM for the information you can use as tools.
This is Wake Up Call. Sitting in the shoes of the man Archie Bobsey Yini. And that's how we're going to begin this show with our indomitable drums. Come and see me dancing to these drums.
Welcome to the most indomitable program. The heart-moving program. I don't even know who can fit in Archie's shoes. My name is Gibson Jeru. I'm all the way here in North Dakota, bringing you this important program, Wake Up Call. Okay, let's take the music down, and let's say welcome to all of you who have been listening to us, who have been part of this program. Again, Archie is going to do something tonight, this morning. By 2 a.m., he's supposed to be going to the airport to take his brother to the airport, who is leaving for the country. And because of that, he is busy. And again, I'm going to be filling his shoes. And you guys know how difficult it is to fill his shoes. It is a Herculean task to fit in the shoes of a man who has made this program unforgettable, man who has made this program so enviable. And those of you who are always glued to this program, you are testament of the importance of this program. Wake Up Call come your way every morning from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. It has been my pleasure to be here to fit in the shoes. We got so many things to discuss, but we're going to give you a monologue. I'm waiting for also my panelists. Again, we will be discussing the election in Nema County. As you already know, Justin Yezin, who is commonly known as Prophet Key, was disqualified by the Election Commission of Liberia, the National Election Commission. And I'm telling you, the guy is furious. He is cussing the mom, the mother, and of the entire election commissioners, including the chairperson, cussing the election commissioner. Well, that's the man's identity, right? That is his identity, but he was disqualified for reasons we are going to be telling you. Whether these reasons are valid or not, but the Election Commission says he cannot participate in the senatorial election in Nema County. That is a by-election in Nema County to determine who occupies the seat of Nema County Senator, the late Prince Yeru Johnson. So we will talk about that. Also, there are some allegations that Madam Idepoa's registration ID card does not belong to her. It belongs to her sister. Today, I took almost 1 hour to compare it with various websites and various picture tracing software on my computer. And I have an answer for you. My wife was also here looking at what I was doing, and we'll tell you what we find out. But we have someone who is expected to come to tell us that they are not sure that that picture is Madam Idewe's picture, that it is this picture of her sister who registered her and obtained the voter registration card. We are going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about what is going on in the, today we talk about the War Crimes Court. Again, I'm going to give my monologue on the War Crime Court today. And I'm going to tell you my personal disagreement with the War Crimes Court. And I'm going to tell you that in my monologue before my guests come. So we have a lot to talk about. We will open the phone line for you to discuss with us the issues that we're going to be putting on the floor. And we will give you your opportunity. We have our man there, Clifton Rennie, who is sitting tightly in studio and ready to give us all the assistance we need to keep us live on Blaze FM 90.7. If you are listening to Blaze FM wherever you are, good morning, Grand Bassa County. Good morning, Buchanan. Good morning, My Gibby County. Good morning, My Gibby County and Bombay County. Good morning, Bon Mines. We also receive information that we are all the way there in Bon Mines, number one in Bassa and all over My Gibby County. Also, we say thank you very much for listening to us in Cape Mount. And those of you who are listening to us in Cape Mount and other parts of the country, we want to say thank you very much and continue to listen to us. Continue to stick and stay because we have a lot to talk about. We go back to our theme song, and when we come back, we go to our monologue, which has to do with the War Crime Court. The reason we are talking about the War Crime Court, a new person was appointed to be the executive director of the Office of the War Crime and Economic Crime Court. Now we are discussing the veracity of the court itself and what is more important about the court that you want to learn. I will do my best to give you the both sides of the coin, but I will tell you where I stand on the issue because I like to be judged by history. And so, because I like to be judged by history, I like to make my predictions. I like to make my analysis on the issues based on how I know them, why I know them. And so we are here. We will try our best. I got some document or some reading, some legal paperwork to read for you today to give you a perspective that you may not believe, you may not even accept, but I'm going to give you a perspective. Why I personally believe the War Crime Code is no longer necessary. Of course, there are lots and lots of people in Liberia who still believe that the War Crime Code is necessary and is in fact imperative to be in Liberia. We're going to look at the ramification. We're going to look at the legal ramification. We're going to look at the political ramification. We're also going to look at the intricacies, what are involved. And so before we go there, let me take this brief break and we'll be right back and we'll do nothing else but to come in with our theme song one more time in a short manner and I will be with you. Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to welcome you back. We are back to discuss, and today my monologue is going to be on the War and Economics Crime Code. By now, some of you already have been following that President Boakai dismissed the previous War Crime Code Executive Director, Mr. Williams, Councilor Williams, Jonathan Williams. He dismissed Councilor Williams and replaced Councilor Williams with Babu, Jala Babu. He's a professor of law at the University of Liberia. In fact, he was the dean of the Liberian law school. He was the dean of the law school. So he's a lawyer, and then he's a good one too, because to be a dean of the Liberian law school, you must be a good lawyer. And he is a doctor of law, a doctor of juris. That's what they call it. And so he is a doctor, counselor, Jala Babu, professor. I mean, the titles are many. I can't say all of that. And he has also taught, according to him, accounting as well at the University of Liberia. Let me just tell you that he's educated and we don't have anything on him that look dirty. So for now, we don't have anything on him that looks dirty. If something happens in the future or something comes out in the future, we will tell you. But for now, we consider him one of the best to occupy that position. Now, coming to the position of the War Crime Court Executive Director, there's so much he needed to do. First of all, let me talk a little bit about the money, but I'm not going to dwell on the money aspect today because my main focus is not really the money that I want to talk about. My main focus today has to do with the ramification of the War and Economic Crimes Court. Okay, the War and Economic Crime Court. That's what I really want to talk about today. Is when is it coming? Why is it coming? Is it good for us? Stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. So if I just want to touch on a little bit about the financial aspect, there was $1.2 million that was put aside for the running of the office of the War and Economic Crime Court. Out of that $1.2 million, only $368,000 was turned over to Councilor Babu, and the rest of it, which was like 132,000, if I'm not mistaken, was already dished out before Councilor Babu took over. I'm not going to go into the intricacies. There are some news, there are some good things to talk about the money. But the War Crime Court, what is it? We are coming now. We have the office. We are now advancing into the process. There are so many things that still needed to be done. Councilor Babu today made mention of some of the things he wanted to do, that he's going to do. But I'm interested in educating some of our people what to expect. For those who support the War Crime Court, they believe that it is the way to end impunity. No, what is impunity to people who are listening to me? There are some of you who understand what impunity is. Impunity is somebody do bad thing and you didn't take any action. So they live with the bad thing they have done. Nobody take action against them. And they just go on living as normal as if nothing happened. Somebody beat her girlfriend, broke her arm. The police didn't arrest the person. Nobody did anything. And the person keep living as if they didn't break anybody's arm. Impunity. So in other words, what the Liberian people and the people who are advocating for the War Crime Court are saying, we cannot have a situation in our country. We fought war for 14 years. There were people who we call warlords. People were commanders who killed people for no reason, who maimed people for no reason, okay, who raped women for no reason, who sodomized boys for no reason. They did that because they had a gun with them, and they used the barrel of the gun to intimidate people, to victimize people. Some of the people killed people that had no business killing, who had nothing to do with the war. They were not combatant. They were civilians. Just because they were called certain tribes, they must die. It was on both sides of the aisle. So we have several rebel groups. We got the NPFL, we got the RNPFL, we have the Liberia LERD, we got LERD, we got Lofa Defense Force, we got the CRC NPFL, we got the LPC, and then the latest one, the last one was Model. All of these people, some are rebels, some are armed, some are resistant group against the rebel. And so, but all of these people, they did something. They are commanders, they are soldiers. They kill people for no reason. Some we don't know about, some we know about. So those who want a war crime court say, no, we got to have the war crime court to put them behind bars, to put them into jail, that they stay there forever because they kill citizens. And according to the United Nations information, more than 250,000 people in Liberia died because of the war. Now, all of them did not die by bullets. Some of them died by, how you call this, malnutrition. Some people died by hunger. Some people got drowned while they were trying to run away. Some people went in the bush. They had nothing to eat. They got bitten by a snake. Some of them lay down in the bush and died. Some got stray bullet that caught them, and they died out of it. Like my uncle, a pastor, he died from stray bullet going to draw water, and the bullet hit him, 2 bullets, and he died. There are a lot of people who die in that way. The rebel didn't target some people to kill them, but they still died because when they were shooting gun and they hit somebody, they still died. But we don't know who shot such a gun. So we can't hold anybody. But there were people who actually were arrested by the armed militias, the rebel groups, the armed groups. They were arrested by their fighters, and they were victimized. They were killed right there. And some of you, have a better history about this war. They have a better explanation about what happened to you, to your family member, to your relative, to your uncle, to any of your family members. You have the right explanation. I don't. And I'm just giving you an idea of what people went through during the war. So those who want the war crime code say, yes, we want this war crime code. It should come. We need these people to be punished. But there's another component of it. And the other component of it is where I come from. Now, somebody today and talk to me and say, oh, Gibson, I heard you on Spoon Talk. And I said, yeah, man, we're on Spoon Talk as usual. And he said, you said you are against the war crime code. I said, yeah, I'm against the war crime code. And said, oh, I know why you're against it, Gibson. And I said, why? Now, he's thinking for me now. He's thinking for me. He trying to determine what I think, what I want, and why I want it. Even though he didn't ask me why I don't want the war crime code. He didn't say that. He didn't know, or they didn't tell me, or he didn't ask me. And he said, I know the reason why you don't want a war crime code because you want to shield Thomas Yaya and George Bulley and others. And I said, oh, really? And I said, is that what you think? And I said, no, you're wrong. I said the sin of George Bulley and Thomas Yaya had nothing to do with me. My opposition to the war crime code is fundamental. It is rooted in the process that we put in place ourselves. And it is that process I want to tell you tonight. For those of you who have been following the war crime code, it has its roots from the war. Right after the war, the progenitors of the War and Economic Crime Code, the progenitors, the forerunners of the War and Economic Crime Code. I see everybody talking about it today, and these people nobody talk about them anymore. One of them is Mulba Molu. The other one is Boakai Jaliba. And there were others who were beyond them, who were with them. Those were the progenitor of the War and Economic Crime Code. Those were the forerunners. Those were the people who wanted the War and Economic Crime Code and were right after the Accra Accord, the Accra meeting. But guess what happened? Why I remain committed to the TRC and the ideals of the TRC. There are changes that have taken place over time, and it has made a soft spot on me about the War Crime Code. But I still believe there were still legal questions to be answered. Like I said today on the Spoon Talk, the TRC, the first draft of the TRC law, I was probably the only journalist. I didn't know if another journalist were there, but I was the only journalist editor who participated. And that forum was sponsored by the International Alert from Great Britain. And Great Britain, the International Alert was sponsored by USAID. And they put us together. They brought us together. And I don't know if anybody was there who was a journalist, but I was the only editor in that meeting. There were other human rights groups, politicians, religious people, They were in our group. Youth groups, they were in our group to draft the first law of the TRC. And so I know why the TRC, how the TRC came about. I participated in the law that brought the TRC to me. I did not participate in the final draft because the first draft went through layers, about 2 different layers before it became final. In our draft, in our law, when it was passed, there were some very, very specific things that were in our law. But let me see if I can put what I want to talk about in our law so you can know what I will put on the screen for you. I'll put on the screen for you. And we'll talk about it. Let me put on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. So in the law, I know actually I can catch hard on tonight again. It begin he want to show me the thing here, but I will try. I will try my best. So I will try my best. Let me see if I can add one overlay here. The first thing is the TRC law. The TRC law itself is very, very complicated. I don't know how we got past that. And I'm waiting for my panelists though. How we got past that, because the law was completely, absolutely straightforward. So let me put it on the screen for all of you to read. Don't be dreaming that out, because actually not here if you show me any disrespect. So there's a TRC chapter 8, section 3. Chapter 8, section 3. I will read it so I will tell you why I have this thing as a serious problem. The TRC Act, the act that created the TRC, says in chapter 8, section 3, the TRC shall grant immunity to all persons or groups of persons, organizations, or institutions from prosecution. I want you to note that, from prosecution or tort actions on account of statement made or evidence given before the TRC in advancement of the public interest objective inherent in the functions and objective of the TRC and pursuant to the successful execution of its mandate, and which therefore shall not be used in any court of law against the person making the statement. So what is the law saying? The TRC law says, it is a law. It's still on the books. It's still there today. The TRC law says anybody who the TRC say come and explain what you did during the war, and that person agrees and come before the TRC and explain what they have done during the war, whether they kill people, whether they order people to be killed, all of that. Once they explain those things, the law says you cannot be prosecuted for any crime. But not only that, you cannot even be prosecuted for tort. Now, this is the part that some of you will not understand. You understand the crime part, but you may not understand the tort part. The tort means tort, T-O-R-T-S, torts. In law, it means an action of mistake. It's a civil action, an action of mistake. So let's say, let me give you a good example. Somebody had a gun. They were passing by you. They tried to take the gun, and the gun ball hit your jaw, and your teeth dropped from your mouth. It took your teeth from your mouth. The law is saying even that kind of tort cannot be, you cannot prosecute the person for it. Can't bring the person to court. Once that person testifies before the TRC, they are not supposed to be prosecuted in any court. They didn't say in Liberia. They said in any court of law. So if it is in any court of law, you are given immunity not to be prosecuted in any court of law, so long you appear before the TRC and explain what you have done during the war. No court supposed to prosecute you. Now that law is still on the books. It has not been repealed. Now, those who appear at the TRC and spoke about things that they had no business doing, the killings they did, the orders they gave that resulted in people's death or murder or killing, those things that they explained, the role they play in a war. If you come and try to prosecute them, the TRC law says don't touch them. Do not touch them. Now, but even more than that, I will push it. I'm waiting for my panelists. As soon as my panelists come, we're going to our topic of today, which has to do with the identification cards from the election process. But let me show you one more thing. In the Constitution of Liberia, and I want you to take keen note of that. In the Constitution of Liberia, it's also there. Now I'm going to read it for you, and you tell me whether it will be fair to the people. I'm going to read it, and you tell me whether I'm wrong. Okay? You tell me whether I'm wrong. Let me see. Where is it? The thing lost my eye again. Oh, they are cheating. Okay, I find it. So the Constitution, chapter 11, article 11, section D2H. And I'm going to read the part. I'm not going to read the whole section. But let me start from I'm not going to read the whole section because the whole section had deal with different aspects. I'm going to deal with the part that deal with the topic I'm discussing. So the Constitution says, and let me read the whole thing, but I will emphasize on what I want to say. The Constitution says, welcome, Lawrence. Meet my man, Lawrence. The Constitution says, no person shall be held to answer for capital or infamous crime except in cases of impeachment, cases arising from armed forces and petty offenses, unless upon indictment by grand jury. And in all cases, the accused shall have the right to a speedy, public, and impartial trial by jury of the vicinity, unless such person shall with appropriate understanding expressly waive the right to jury trial. In all criminal cases, the accused shall have the right to be represented by counsel of his choice, to confront witnesses against him, and to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor. That's not what I want to talk about. But the issues I'm talking about, now let me read that part of it. He, that means the individual, the Liberian individual, any Liberian, any individual who lives in the borders of Liberia, he shall not be compelled to furnish evidence against himself, and he shall be presumed innocent until the contrary is proved beyond a reasonable doubt. No person shall be subject to double jeopardy. Let me tell you what this means. The Constitution says, don't allow anybody to give you evidence against themselves. Now, the TRC told me, Gibson, come to us and tell us everything you have done. When you do that, we will not prosecute you. You will be immune. You will not be prosecuted in any court. I agree. I went to the TRC and provided evidence against myself to the TRC under the impression that I will not be prosecuted. People like Kofi, people like Ziza Massa, people like all the fighters, all the people that appear before the TRC, including Thomas Yaya, all the people, George Bulley, all of these people, the late Prince Johnson, all of those people appeared before the TRC. Everyone who they laid their hands on, they were fighting, there was a commander or General Mosquito there, all these people appeared before the TRC. And the TRC told them, according to the law and the assurance from the commissioner, if you give evidence to us today, if you tell us the bad things that you have done, nobody will prosecute you in any court. And I put it on the screen. But the Constitution is the biggest law in our country. The Constitution says if you told somebody, if you made somebody to produce evidence against themselves, they tell you the bad thing they have done, you can't use it against them. You can't prosecute them. You can't tell somebody, say, can't tell me all the bad thing you do, and the person tell you, then you go and prosecute them. The Constitution says, do not make anybody to tell you the bad thing they have done. So how will the War Crime Court proceed? All those people who gave evidence against themselves, is the War Crime Court going to go after them and use the same evidence that they gave in the TRC and use it against them to put them behind bars? How are they going to do that? They will file a motion to the Supreme Court for relief. And who knows what the Supreme Court is going to do? They'll tell the Supreme Court, I can't be prosecuted. I can't be prosecuted because they told me in the law that was created, the TRC law, that if I give evidence in a public manner that will help the TRC to understand all the bad things I did, all the things that happened in Liberia, my role I play. If I tell them, when I don't hide anything, I tell and everything, the bad thing I did, I will not be prosecuted in any law, in any court of law. I just put on the screen, in any court of law. Now, after I gave evidence against myself, I was supposed to just remain silent. And they have the burden of proof to find the evidence against me. But now they made me, I gave evidence against myself. Then they want to prosecute me. Supreme Court, I want you to relieve me. And the Supreme Court said, you got a point. The Constitution says you should not be made to give evidence against yourself. Or what would the Supreme Court do? The Supreme Court will say, to hell with you. You are a killer. We'll just go ahead and kill you too. Or we'll put you in jail. Is the Supreme Court going to say that? Ignore the law and say, you to hell with you. You were kidding the other time, you forget that they were going to come. That team will come to come free from 18 years. Or the Supreme Court, will they go by the law? These are questions that I have. I have more questions to ask. I have more questions to ask. But we'll stop here for tonight because my man Lawrence Yene is here. Lawrence, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, CEO. Thank you.
If you have something to say about the War Crime Court, I can let you speak to that before we proceed.
Yeah, thank you very much. I've actually understood all what you are saying. The thing there is, the government will be depending on the TRC report or the TRC video to use it as evidence against those accused.
Right.
So, and that evidence should be notified based on what you have just read, because it's an agreement that this commissioner signed with the people and said that, yes, we're bringing you here. Anything you say here, it cannot be used against you.
Right.
So how will the government actually prosecute these people? Where will the evidence come from? Because the the accuser is the one that's supposed to prove beyond all reasonable doubt. Where will you get the evidence from? And I don't think international community will be willing to pump money into the kind of thing, because the people, they're mostly interested in terroristic war between countries, or and thing about local the civil war. I don't like, but this is the question, CEO. The TRC report came with recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
They then converted some people, because if you recommend that somebody should stay out of public power for like 30 consecutive years, as it is in a report there, and even you accuse some people that they should go to court, are considered to be a verdict. So how do you look at it? And you have told the people their revelation is going to be free, their testimony will not be used against them. Why ban them from public position? How you look at that one too?
Thank you, Lawrence. First of all, Lawrence, I'm of the opinion that the recommendations of the TRC were deceptive. Lawrence, they asked Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to appear. She appeared. She appeared in a special section. There were other people who participated in the process. The TRC law says there will be recommendations that the TRC can make for reparation and may recommend people for prosecution. Why I am struggling to understand is you can have it two ways. You tell the person, come, and testify to the things you have done. When you testify, we tell Lawrence, come to wake up call. Lawrence, if you come to wake up call and speak to all the things that you like, we will not remove you from wake up call. You will always be here. Lawrence came and spoke to all the things that he liked. Then we say, Lawrence, you are hereby removed from wake up call.
Yeah, because the thing you like, we ain't like it.
Yeah, the thing you like, we don't like it. So it's a deception. You can't promise the people that when you come and tell us what you have done, you will not be prosecuted. Yeah. But at the same time, the TRC is recommending people to not take office for 30 years.
Yeah.
After they provided evidence against themselves. The reason why they did that, in fact, that's the reason why the TRC was divided when they did their report. I think two commissioners, Per Brambu and another commissioner, said, no. We said we're not going to do anything like that. So we can't recommend people for prosecution. We can't recommend people to not take office. Because of that, some of the members of the TRC refused to sign the final report. Now, if people refuse to sign the final report and the majority sign, people say, oh, but our majority already decide. But the fact that one or two people refuse to sign on the basis of fundamental procedure and say, we told the people that when they come and explain to us, we will not take action. We will use it for our information. Then why are we now taking action on them? After they provided information or evidence against themselves. Why should we punish them for providing evidence against themselves? That's where the problem was. So Lawrence, if you ask me today, I was never in favor of punishing people who willingly appear before the TRC. Now, somebody will say, but Gibson, you are insensitive to the people that died. Nobody felt the war more than I felt it. I lost aunts, I lost cousins, I lost close relatives. Everybody in Liberia is affected one way or the other, Lawrence.
Yes.
Everyone.
Everybody.
No one will come and tell Lawrence, say, you are not sensitive to what happened to us in the war, but you don't even know what happened to Lawrence.
You don't even know.
So how can Lawrence be insensitive? So those things were the same problem we are talking about. Lawrence, come and give evidence against yourself. When you come and talk to us, we will not do anything to you. You will not be prosecuted. No action will be taken against you. Lawrence said, okay, because of my assurance, Lawrence come and give testimony. Then they turn around and say, thank you for giving the testimony. We are going to ban you from doing this. But why I didn't stay by myself and you find your own evidence?
Actually, people will look at it the other ways, just as you are saying, because we also want something to serve as an impediment for the would-be perpetrator of our land. But the manner in which this have been managed, I think it was not the proper way. Firstly, I don't know what was the meaning of the TRC. Was it retroaction that it brought or the broad retribution? What was the mandate from the CPA that the king they operated on? Because if it were anything, they would have just forgotten about TRC business and just start a court process and bring these people. And still, you are not still coming to get it because you are not with the people. In court, you need clear evidence. What is the evidence you are coming to really use against those people? They may say, oh, during the water, the rebel king, the grab or the pee or unfair. You get proof? What you yes. So actually, yeah, let's look at it the other way because we actually don't want you are muted. We don't want for another war to come because other people will look at it that way and say, yeah, since it happened, nothing came from out of it, we will do our own and we all live in retroaction and things. They will just do it, blah blah blah. But I don't know what's the way forward when as it relates to setting precedent for something not to happen tomorrow as it relates to war. What is the way forward, CEO? Taking into consideration all these things. What could be the way forward? You are muted. Yeah, we are not staying here.
Listen, Lawrence.
Yeah.
You know, the problem we've had in the past is that when we went to Accra for the final communique for the peace process, the mistake we made, maybe not mistake, maybe that was God telling us to do it, was to agree to do TRC rather than War Crimes Court. At that conference, I didn't go. I had my managing editor, Mr. Sikor Wen. But at that conference, Lawrence, the people found it difficult to recommend War Crime Court because of the presence of the warlords. There was Thomas Yaya, there was Ahaji Krumah, there was George Bolle, there was Thomas Wowoyu, there was Lavla Supuhu, there was Samuel Doki, there was the Lord Segudamate Kone, there was Roosevelt Johnson, all the warlords. There was George Dwyer. There was all the warlords and their representative from Monrovia and other parts of West Africa. They were at that conference, and there was Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. There was other Liberians who didn't even participate in the war, who had maybe support of the war, but they didn't fight, they didn't show money, they didn't give money, they didn't do, but they support the process. There were other people there who didn't have anything to do with the war. They were foreign nationals. They found it very, very difficult to come up with a war economic crime code because they thought by introducing that it would not be possible for them to even have peace. So they came up with the TRC. Everyone agreed and said, okay, let's go tell our story. so we can build a history so that this thing will not happen again. Everyone will be allowed to come before this TRC and say what you have done and ask for forgiveness. And if you do that, you will not go to court. If you refuse, you will be recommended for prosecution. The people who were recommended for prosecution in the TRC report were people who are expected to have refused to appear before the TRC, because that's what the law says.
Yeah.
The law says if you refuse, the TRC can recommend your prosecution. But it didn't say when you refuse, the TRC will recommend your prosecution. It said when you do not refuse and you appear before us, you will not be prosecuted. Okay. If you refuse to come before us, you will be recommended for prosecution. So then, why did you recommend the people to be prosecuted? I think there was a mistake somewhere. And that mistake is what getting us to discuss this thing today. It's what got us today. The War Crime Code to come to aid is very difficult because there are too many things that intertwine. So that's the way I think. And I mean, we have another topic to discuss.
Yeah,
I need to speak to that, and then we'll transition. That was just my monologue, and then we can speak to that, and we'll come to the topic of today. Somebody is accusing Madam Eden Ware of that her voter registration card is fake. But the person is supposed to be here. The person is not here yet. So I don't know how we're going to discuss it because I already have the document piece together and we're going to look at the features of the document. I also did I got a lot of software here. I put it in my face recognition software and I have a result to give, whether it is true or it's not true. And I'm waiting for the guy to come, the person who made the allegation to come. But before they come, I'd like to give you a last comment on the War Crime Code. And then the next thing will be, Prophet Key is disqualified. But he cursing the man of the Election Commission. He also said he spent $750. And today he had a press conference where he talked about a lot of irregularities in government. So we're going to look at those irregularities and the inconsistencies he talked about and see whether they can work in his favor. Can he go to the court? Can he go to the Supreme Court and file a prohibition against the Election Commission instead of just going and cursing people or doing anything for that matter, arguing? Can he just take the legal aspect and say, I'm going to sue the Election Commission and stuff like that? So we'll come to that, but let me give you your last comment on the War and Economic Crime Court.
Yeah, so concerning the War and Economic Crimes Code, I think we really got to thoroughly look at it because the war that fought in Liberia, one way or the other, we were all involved. So we just got to learn from it and see how we can move our country forward. People did it out of revenge. So many things were involved. Like you will get somebody, you will get Lawrence Yene today. They assume Lawrence Yene was a general. You bring Lawrence Yene with that, you will be having strong backing. Most citizens will be backing that Hassan Ben Lawrence. We won't have survived. The most bad or they talk about general that you ever think on who were bad during the war. Somebody too will come out, group of citizens will come out to praise that person and say, Hassan Ben, this man or this person, we won't have lived. So where are we going?
No, I really like that point you made. Gibson might be the worst person to John Brown, but Gibson might be the savior
Yeah,
to Peter Paul.
yes. So okay, that be particular. That name some of them. If you bring the late Senator Prince Johnson here, you will see people willing to even die for him that he saved them. If you bring George Bole here, you will see a group of people will come and say, hey, I say not been George Bole. I say not been Tomo Yaya Nimlen. We won't have lived. The time the rebel were coming. You bring Roland Dwyer. Hey, Adolphus Dolo. I say not been this man. The time the rebel were coming. The time the government forces were coming. So it's just somehow complicated and hard to deal with. Everybody was victimized. So what?
You know, that before then, no, I don't think like that anymore. Before then, I used to think, I don't know if it was negative. I felt like those people who, and I don't think like that anymore. I've changed that thought long time. But before that, I used to think, I said, okay, the people that are calling for war and economic crown court are people who want to see people from Grand Jere and Nima punished. I used to think that way. But even there are some people from Grand Jere and from Nima that also favor the war and economic crown court.
Yeah.
So it doesn't show that only people who are not from Grand Jere and Nima want economic crime and the war crimes code. That's why I say I have changed, because from the beginning, due to emotional distress, I used to think that way. But Lawrence, I don't know. I don't know. I like people to be punished for their wrongdoing.
Yeah.
But I'm still thinking, I'm really, really still thinking, after all these years of peace, are we ready to rock the boat?
Yeah.
Are we ready to rock the boat?
It's
Is that the sacrifice that we are willing to make? Is that a sacrifice we are willing to make? That if we wanted to go arrest Prince Johnson is there, so nobody going to talk about Prince Johnson.
yeah.
Or to go arrest warlords,
Any warlord.
commandos. Yes, you know, is that a risk we are willing to take? Why do we want that risk? How is it going to better us?
We really got to study it, because let's compare the disadvantage side of it and the advantage side of it.
Yeah. So the advantage for those who wanted will say we will find closure. We will punish those who did a bad thing. Impunity will end. We show to them that if you do bad, the bad can follow you. Okay, I agree, Lawrence. But the disadvantage
Yeah.
is, are Liberians ready? Are Liberians ready right now? Now. If there is a war right now, hmm, are we willing to go through it? Or somebody will say they will not do nothing. What they will do? Nothing. They can do nothing. Is it true that we'll do nothing? That nobody will do nothing? So I mean, I just listen to you and we'll make a transition.
Well, we just got to look at it thoroughly. We still got to investigate, because we don't want to spend free time and money
Yeah.
on the establishment of code, because that code requires so many thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, when we are looking for food for the layman to eat. The layman does not have food to eat, and then you got that money. The money that even went on the TRC, the millions of dollars that was spent on the TRC process. Let's look at it, we compare it with
Okay. Leader Yene, we are seeing you. Just face your camera. Go ahead.
so we actually got to look at it thoroughly, because people looking at it that way, when you say again no work on, people say that a warlord
Yeah.
yeah, so
Okay. So thank you very much, Lawrence Yene. Thank you for helping me to talk about that. It was a monologue, but then you came in on time and you helped me to navigate through this. Every opinion we express, our opinion, it has nothing to do with the position of the Blaze 90.7 FM. Blaze editorial policies are completely different from our personal opinion, and Blaze cannot be held responsible for our personal opinion. Today we have leader Yene. Oh, he gone back. Oh my God, we got someone who accused Edith Gongloware that she didn't register herself, that she used her sister to register. So we pieced together the picture of her sister and Edith ID card. We also have Edith mini picture, and so we put on the screen. The gentleman just came in, but he gone back, and we are hoping that he will come in so we can bring him on. But before we do that, why is Prophet Key angry?
Prophet Key, I think actually his process, I don't know whether you have gotten information from Next, but according to him, he's been rejected.
Yeah.
So maybe it's what making him angry, and he has decided to go radical instead of using the law. I don't know what his next plan when he has decided to go so radical.
I mean, I think he has a point. He has a right to go to court.
Yeah, he has his right. Well, actually, CEO, like it is now, even the gentleman, he has to come to studio to say much about what he has, because the burden of the proof lies within the accuser, so he has to prove everything. So we are waiting on him. But election is all about the people's choice, the people to come and vote for their own leader, for their leaders or leader. So for me, if someone could ask me, I could,
let me stop you a little bit and bring on our guest of tonight, Mr. Kerrison N. Yene. I have a lot of Yene on the radio program. I have some Yenes spelled differently. I have two Yenes looking the same. So let me bring Mr. Yene on.
You better talk about himself.
Yeah, Mr. Yene Senior. Are you paying attention to the camera? Can you lift your head? Can you lift your head up and put your face into the camera? Yeah, correct. I think like that is all right. If you can keep your camera, put it against something, and keep it. If it's computer, you just leave it just like that.
Yeah,
you can find something and lay it against it. If you can do that, that would be great. I can let you do that. Are you good? I can't hear you. Are you good? You can hear us?
Kerrison, are you hearing us?
You are muted. Are you muted?
Are you getting us? Are you hearing us? We are not hearing you, Kerosene.
He didn't even speaking. Try to speak. Like, yeah, talk.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Talk. Say something. Say something. Say something. You speak. You
Okay,
talk.
you coming on. You coming on. Talk.
You speak.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Good morning. Oh, okay.
Okay, you got to be audible.
You
I'm
can
not
hear
getting
us?
you. Are you getting me?
Yes,
Yes, I'm getting you.
Oh,
You can hear us? You can hear us?
okay.
All right.
Let
Are
me.
you hearing us?
You gotta make your camera stable now, so you will be seen, because maybe you gotta make your camera stable. Okay. All right, Mr. Yene, we can leave you like this and we can talk tonight. This morning, the 30th of March. This is, oh my God, he going back. Oh. But I mean, this is all about democracy, right? I support Edith, but anybody has a right to raise issue with Edith as journalists. It's our responsibility to discuss it, and our responsibility to also investigate the details and see what it is. So, but one of the issues that Prophet Key raised is, why did they give him provisional certificate?
Yeah.
Why did they give him aspirant certificate if they knew that his ID card was fake? Why did they give him an aspirant paperwork? When he met Kerry, he document. Why didn't he just tell him, Lawrence, that your paper that you brought are not correct? We're not doing it.
Yeah. They got it, they gain a certificate, they stamp it and all.
Yeah.
The original stamp, everything.
This, in fact, he said they didn't stamp it from the beginning. He had to take it back to them to stamp it. So, sometimes the way our people do things, they embarrass other people. They do things to say they embarrass other people, because if you are going to disqualify the man, if you knew the man document was not up to date, why would you even give the man anything at all? Anything? Why would you do that? So it's just, I don't know. I will play the I will play the something. I will play the something where Prophet Key there. Well, then let me share the screen and see if I can bring Prophet Key on. He and his guys. I think it's very important. I don't know.
The National Electoral Commission continues to put their work, their credibility in question. They continue to do it.
Right.
The first thing they did was they stamped some people nomination certificate, and they never stamped only one person, the government candidate. The government candidate or nomination certificate. It stands now for.
Let's listen to Prophet Key.
Yeah.
Let's listen to Prophet Key a little bit. Let's listen to Prophet Key.
The provisional listing. After we feeling go, we not told. There's no breaking your face that there was no more there. All the QR they told all I want. I left them. After 2 days, I was thinking whether the man today maybe they not put my face, they not put me on. After 2 days, I saw my face again. They put me a month the candidate and I became the 8th person after we had done the investigation already. So it means that they were convinced that they are in error, not the prophet. They are in error. So they have to put me among the provisional listing after investigation. They put me among the people. So at that, I started to meet and greet because I was not campaigning. You got campaign not open yet. I was doing meet and greet. But the meet and greet, anywhere I go, I'm a celebrity. People want to take picture. Everybody come here locked down in my country. No other candidate will ever pull the number that I pull, and they know that one. So their body start to jubo. They start to jubo. Say, what you doing so? They make me become senator. I was in Towe town, in the former president town, Moses Zeblan. I slept in Moses Zeblan house. I faced the ID. You will not get no information from inside there. So there the ID from them. So you get good case. But the case say you can't win it. Now what father told me. He said because the time frame the boy is already against you. The time frame against you. Even if I try to do everything, we have to pay bond, do all of them to go to Supreme Court, we don't get time. The Supreme Court work in line with time frame. And they've been doing it before they are doing it for my clients. And they always do. Last minute to time they will say, hey, when they know that you cannot make it to go, they complain. So they have to treat you. So you say, but the case, you can. The case is a good case, but the time free can make it not win the case. So just forget about it.
Okay, so you listen to him, Brother Yene. What came to your mind?
Yeah, so what came to my mind is Prophet Key himself, I don't know, maybe he's not too interesting. And he's not willing to fight the National Election Commission for his rejection. Because he needs not to say all these things. All he has to do to remain silent. Maybe the best thing is to tell his supporter, I've received rejection letter, but we're going after it, we're going through it. But talking too much, insulting, that alone tells me that he does not have a favor. Let's say, interest again.
But I don't know why his lawyer would tell him that he got a good case, but the time frame is against him. Why don't you file it and see if the Supreme Court will expedite the process? You filed a lawsuit and asked for the Supreme Court to put a stay order on the election process, or for the Supreme Court to hear your case. Maybe the Supreme Court will take one or 2 days and hear the case. But they needed to start from the Election Commission, not at the Supreme Court. It is stated in the law that if you have issue with the Election Commission, you file your appeal to the Election Commission Board, the Board of Commissioners. And the Board of Commissioners will sit and make a decision. If you're not satisfied with the decision, you go to the Supreme Court. So the first thing they should have done was to file with the Board of Commissioners and ask for an expedited hearing. From now to the 23rd of April, we still got more days. We got 23 days.
Yeah,
the separation can be taken care of in 10 days. Well, you might not have the time to go and campaign, but at least if you win a case, that is more important to win the case, and you don't have the time to campaign. They say, well, Prophet King won the people, but his time was too short. So he didn't have the time to campaign, and that's why he lost. But at least you took action. So I don't buy what people want to do always to overlook their rights.
Yeah.
In case in favor of expediency. Why would a lawyer? Well, if I were a lawyer for you, I wouldn't advise you that way. If I were a lawyer, I would tell you, look, you know what? Let's file the lawsuit. Even if they don't hear it, we let the people know that we filed a lawsuit. And then we file the lawsuit and see whether the Supreme Court is going to hear it or not hear it. But as it is now, it's like he accepted a fifth.
Yeah, accepted it.
And I think the thing that hurt him more is the $750 that he paid. They took my money and they denied me. 750. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, but this is serious. $700. Now, why I had it, man? Because every time he talked, they took my money. But I was talking to somebody today, and I told them everything you do in this world has consequences.
Yeah.
When Prophet Key, some people, the other guy was arguing. Prophet Key was just using words. He cursed people, yes, but he was using words. Other people use gun to kill people. Well, words hurt more than action. Why you think people go to war? It's because of words.
Yeah.
People go to war because of words. Sometimes you do something, people may not go to war about it, but the words that you issue, the word that you utter. If you sit down and describe somebody in a nasty way, the person will feel it more than when you even slap them.
Yeah.
It'll be more than that. So Prophet Key was his own nemesis. I thought when George Weah left the scene, I thought when Joseph Boakai won, I thought you were going to change his game plan.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I was really thinking. I said maybe because he was against George Weah and he was for Joseph Boakai. Now that Joseph Boakai is not in the George Weah is not in the picture, Prophet Key is now going to change his game plan and discuss issues substantively and maturely rather than causing people. The first thing when they deny him, he caused the woman set or man or pa or everybody. Now, if you need causing the people, can you go back to the board of commissioners after you use all the vulgarities? What time you have to use the vulgarities and what time you have to go back to the commissioners to file an appeal? So it's just. I think what we're going to do is, I'm still waiting for this brother.
Yeah.
What we're going to do, we're going to discuss it, but I don't want to discuss it beyond the brother. So
Yeah.
So we'll leave it until the brother comes. We'll leave it until the brother comes. But something I wanted to play today, yesterday on your side now. Oh, you and myself got the same thing. Okay. I think Yene is back. I see him in the dark. It's dark on your side. Put your camera on.
Okay.
Okay, good. So all you need to do is to put your camera down. You take your camera and put it down and put it against something. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
Everything, your table slippery.
A little-
Okay, like that is all right. Like that is all right. If you're able to hold it like that, that's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
But put yourself in the middle now. Put yourself in the middle of the picture. Okay, good. Just like that. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're okay. But I can see your left eye. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let me put you on the screen and see how you will be looking. All
Yeah,
right. You can see yourself on the screen.
yeah, I think, yeah, this is much better.
Okay, that's good. Like that is good. All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who have been listening to us, Brother Kerosene and Yenisian has an issue after Prophet Key was disqualified for voter registration card, fake voter registration card, Mr. Yene thought that he should bring something that he had observed about other candidates in the race. So we're going to give him a chance to tell us what are his observations. Mr. Yene, you are most welcome to Wake Up Call. My name is Gibson Giroux. I'm all the way in Fargo, North Dakota, USA. And my man Lawrence Yene is also out of Liberia. I'm sitting in today for Mr. Archie say Bob Yene. So we want to say welcome. What's your issue?
Thank you. Let me say thank God for us to see today.
Mhm.
I think you have 2 Yene. I think
Yeah,
family.
I'm blessed with the Yenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you say, I'm curious in Yene. Uh, I have issues with NEC.
Okay.
And of recent, we followed a case with Prophet Key. And beside the issue with Prophet Key, I had another issue with Monkade Fangalo before I get to the other issue. For the election law, Fangalo in 2023 contested in Mosoralo at the district number 13.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2023, he contested in Mosoralo. And this year, 2024, he is now a candidate in Nima by-election. Now, the election law says where you register, there where you vote.
Mm-hmm.
So if NEC can accredit Mr. Fangalo, who just contested in 2024,
Mm-hmm.
to contest in Nimba and not been having a voting card in Nimba, he did not register in Nimba, in
Mm-hmm.
any of the states, then what becomes of NEC credibility? Because he has not been a resident. According to election law, it says you should be domiciled 1 year prior to the election.
Mm-hmm.
It will not mention whether it's by-election, whether it's general election. It says 1 year prior to the election. And Mr. Fangalo was just a resident of Mosorado for the by-election. So you accredited that someone to come and contest in Nimba, but the person will not vote in. Okay, does that make sense? Legally, logically, traditionally, because our three pillars support the war. Does that make sense? So it means that if Mr. Fangao can come and register here, somebody can easily leave from Maryland or they're contesting and can contest in Mosorado without having the right to vote. But you asking people to vote for you, but you cannot vote. But NEC say, my man, even though you did not contest, that means that you did not register in Nimba they going election, but you register in Mosorado, you go look for your own thing on our side, you bring our money and they'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the issues.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I understood you very well, Mr. Fangalo registered in Moserado County
Yeah. And he
and
contest
he contested in Moserado County.
to be
And
representative.
your concern is the NEC law, and let me put it on the screen for everyone. Let me put on the screen to be able to validate what you said. Uh, Hold on 1 minute. Let me just put it on the screen for you. Uh, you are saying, you are arguing that if the NEC law says where you register is
Record.
where you vote, how is that connected to where you register, where you vote, and where you contest? How do we look at contest and vote? How are they similar?
Okay. The first thing is, according to the NEC law, when you go, the first thing you will see, voter registrations come before candidate registration.
Mm-hmm.
So to be a candidate, the first thing you should also register, you should be legible to be
Mm-hmm.
a registered voter in this country before
Yes.
you can be a candidate.
Yes.
So the argument now is, if I register in Mosorado for a general election, that means for the period of 6 years, my right to election is restricted to Mosorado because they were a register. So coming out of Mosorado to go in any county to seek vote, I do not have the voting right in any of those places with the exception of Mosorado. That's just logical.
Mm.
So, okay, how possible is it I go to Mr. Yene, Mr. Lawrence Yan Yene? Okay, for example, he lives in Nima. I register in Montserrat to come to him and tell him, vote for me when I do not have the voting right in Nima. So, how will
Okay.
NEC money from somebody to, to make them candidate in Nima when the person does not have a voting right in Nima?
Yeah, but I mean, I understand you. I understand the voting part, but I'm reading the NEC law. I don't see where it says if you register somewhere, then that's the only place you can contest. That's what I'm looking for, and I'm not
But
seeing it.
are you seeing the legibility of becoming a candidate, the qualification to be a candidate?
Okay, so let's go to the eligibility to be a candidate.
Yeah.
So they say candidates, qualification of a candidate. I don't have the immediate. I'll put it up, but let me read what I got here. A person qualified to be registered to vote may be a candidate in an election for all elected offices if he or she domiciles in the constituency for which he or she will be candidate for at least 1 year, that is to say 12 months prior to election day, and is regular taxpayer. Your concern is that he was living in Monserrado County and contested in Monserrado County.
Yes.
So, do we know if Mr. Fangalo has domiciled in the
Nim-
in Nima County for more than 12 months or to at least 12 months?
So the period started with November
Yes.
after the election.
Yes,
So
but
that
the
means
12 the 12 months say when you contested in another place, or okay, go ahead. Let
okay,
me I see the logic you're trying to put. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mr. Fangao loyalty have been with Mosoralo. He
That
has
means
not
he
done it.
gave at least 12 months in Monserrado County to be qualified to contest.
Yes.
Mhm.
He has not lived in Nima for 12 months.
Okay.
The, the election finished in 2023. Now, this election is 2025. So the period of November 2023 up to today, Mr. Fangao has not been in Nima.
Okay, you know that he has not lived in Nima to
Okay.
qualify for the 12 months.
Yes.
Okay.
So it
So
means,
okay, go ahead. Mhm.
because in the first place, if you go to register, you go to register as a candidate. This is the information that we seek for. I think it's on a certificate again. And Mr. Fanga allows the people that you've been living in Nima for so and so years. It's on a certificate. That's one of the major issues. And for this are happening, but for elections to come, this thing should be verified. whether it's in general election or by election, because I cannot go to Mosorado and register and leave Mosorado and go local candidate to contest. It
Okay,
means
let me put that provision or candidate registration qualification. I don't know if you can see it. If you can see it, let me know. Why is it on error? I don't know. Uh, you see the problem I have now. I don't know how Archie does this thing. So I have the something here. It say we have can counter. Okay, this item is already added to. Okay, let me see. So I don't know the thing Archie can do it so easily for me. When I try to do it, it give me hard time. But I will try to put it up. It has to do with the article that talk about qualification, and that's where we you want to go. Correct?
even
Yeah. hmm Go
even
ahead.
the it does I have it on my phone, but going to A, I think I will maybe be off. Yeah.
No, you don't need to go up. I mean, we can read it. We can read it. When actually come in the future, we'll go to what we have. I have it here. It has been added, but I can't read it. I can only read it from my end. So, Lawrence, do you have any question?
Yeah. So, Kerosene, let understand clear now. Um, oh, he's gone.
Oh my God.
I think he will come back.
Hmm. Well, but the issue is he raising here.
So, what I want to understand from him is the law saying that in order to contest in your district or to vote in your, is it district or in a country? Because whether,
This
yeah,
is why it says I can't put it on the screen, but I will just read it from here. I think he's back.
They play army on the screen. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So
Yeah,
sorry.
this is what the man is talking about. What Mr. Yene is talking about is this.
everything.
In section 3A
Mhm.
1
Yeah.
of the election law, subchapter 3A candidates, section 3A.1
Mhm.
qualification of candidates. It says
Mhm.
a person qualified to be registered to vote may be a candidate in an election for all elected offices if he domicile, that means live in the constituency.
Mhm.
So that means NEMA, because that senatorial position, that position you're running for. So
Mhm.
it calls the whole of NEMA. If that district, he must have lived in the district. Constituency
It
constituency
should
for which he or she
Mhm.
will be candidate for at least 1 year, that is to say 12 months prior to the election, and is a regular taxpayer. His concern
and
is not about tax paying right now. His
my
concern
point.
is, has Mr. Fangalo lived in Nima for 12 months before this election? That's your
And
concern,
one
right, Yene?
and one point say it should be registered.
Okay.
You should be registered in that that constituents.
I don't
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see the register part. I say
All right.
a person qualified to be registered to vote. So you must have
Mhm.
a registration, but it doesn't mean that you must be registered in the district or in the constituency. Does it say that? Let's read it one more time. I wanted to put on the screen, but it doesn't even allow
So,
me. You see, a person qualified to register, to be registered to vote may be candidate in an election of all elected offices domiciled in the provided that the person is living domicile in the constituency for which he or she will be a candidate. So in other words, you must have criteria number one. You must have a registration card.
Yeah.
Okay,
But where
but
will you
it
get
didn't say whether you must be registered in a district, but it said
no? Where will
before
you get
you
it?
contest, you must live in a district for 12 months or in a
Yeah,
constituency.
Mr. Gibson,
Yeah.
Drew, where will you get the card?
Where will
So
you get a card, Mr. Yene?
okay,
The
Kerosene,
first
I want to understand from you,
Yeah,
Kerosene.
yeah. Let me answer the question, then you come in. I can't
okay.
answer question. That means it will be asking question. So I can't answer question.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the problem here is if you should be registered and have the card.
Mhm.
It said you should be to the particular place for so and so time. The
Mm-hmm.
first qualification here is you have the card, the voting card.
Mm-hmm.
So where am I obtaining this voting card? Where you want to get the power? I think it's just in common sense now. Where you want to get the power for the period of 1 year, you should be there. But you should get the card from there.
Okay.
I think
Kerosene, Kerosene.
yeah, Chief.
Yeah. So the National Election Commission law says where you register is where you vote.
Vote clear.
Yeah. But there are some people that can register. Let's say that can vote to where they did not register. And
They they are in our election law. Where you go there, there should be NEC worker
mhm.
or international. Let's say NEC workers. There should be NEC worker. Maybe you are registered for example,
Mhm.
and that NEC worker is not somebody who register either in Mosorado that you will
Okay.
come and in Nimba.
Okay. Let me
So
put on the screen. Let me put on the screen.
the the
So
NEC
Yene
worker
said,
is,
mm-hmm.
mhm.
Mr.
Yeah.
Yene, can you
Yeah,
see it clear for you to
Yeah.
read?
Yeah. Qualification of candidates.
I, I know it.
It
I,
says a person qualified to be registered to vote may be a candidate in an election for all elected offices if he or she is one
Domicile.
I have
domiciled in the
Lord take
constituency for which he or she will be candidate for at least 1 year. That is to say 12 months prior to election day and
okay.
is regular
The
taxpayer.
the beginning of the first paragraph, a person registered to vote. That means you should have a voting card first.
Okay.
Yeah. A person registered to vote. It means because the voter registration comes before candidate registration. So a person registered to vote. First qualification, you should have the voting card. That's the first qualification.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But the place we are having issue is why should it be if okay, let's say I live in Mossorado County,
Yeah.
eh? And I have my voter registration card from Duason.
Mhm.
So that's Lower Margibi County.
Yeah.
And then I decided now I want to go to Grand Jide to vote for the position of representative.
Yeah.
Because I don't have my voting card from Grand Jide, does that forbid me from contesting in Grand Jide?
Logically, say
Mm-hmm.
you have a voting card, the place you want to be the leader, and you must be living there 1 year.
Yeah.
Kerosene,
That's what the law says. Yeah.
Kerosene.
Yeah, Chief.
So why are you pushing this whole thing? Is it because you want to for some candidate to be disqualified? Why are you so tight on this?
No, I'm just looking at some issues that is not good and it must continue tomorrow.
What are some of the issues?
The main issue here is if you register in Mosorado, for the period of 6 years, your voting right is restricted to Mosorado.
So
Hmm.
is it the first time ever for you to have seen it, or is this time that you decided to push it?
But for me,
Mhm.
this is the question
Okay.
because the one that having with Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala,
Hmm.
he was representative in Mosoralo, and the general election comes. He went and got his voting card in Lofa, and in the period he was domicile, meaning you have a property there. He used to go and visit and live there.
So how accurate you were monitoring Thomas' father that he was domiciled in Lofa and that of Wanake? How you used to monitor the both of them, that you are of the conviction that Wanake was not residing, he was not domiciled in Nimba, but Thomas' father was domiciled in Nimba. Tell us, please.
The first thing is I challenge Mr. Woneke to come up and say this is my resident in Nema.
Forget about
That's
him. You is upon you now to prove that
oh
yes, this is what you saw.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
He has not done it. He has not been living here. He does not have a resident because it must be domicile. And when you go to that being domicile, it means that you should have a place where you have legal control over. So Mr. Woneke just came into this election, and the reason we're flagging this also is going to continue tomorrow.
Mhm.
Because if NEC says where you vote, that means where you register, there where you vote. And if you want to seek for a position, the first thing is the register to vote. Power live there for the period of 12 months. So all is in line. I cannot live in a place for 12 months and I do not vote there. So it means I'm not qualified. That's the first thing. So
So
that's one. That one it was there. It's not ready.
so
We don't want to flex it out for
kerosene.
yeah.
What this mean to your Kennedy? What it means to your Kennedy? You are one of the strong supporters of Samuel Koga, and you are fighting for all these people to be disqualified. So what that means? Does that give him the victory?
I'm not really fighting to be for them to be disqualified. I'm just flagging this out with NECCA's prudent. They will make the decision. But I'm not telling NEC disqualify so and so present.
Okay.
But I think from today and onward, it should not be. Because if you have a voting card in a particular place there where your voting right is,
Kerosene.
you cannot, yeah.
In a related development,
Mhm.
you came up with Mana Ide Gonglo West picture a few days that he had gone to beg the vice president for support in the pending by election. How did you get that picture? Please tell us.
In my room here.
Yeah,
In my room right here.
yeah. Where did you stand to have taken her picture and you got to post it on Facebook telling
I
people?
use the traditional means.
Yeah.
I use the traditional means.
What do you mean? Explain to the
The
public.
man, the man walk in the darkness and
I say I use the traditional means. I took the photo. Or she went to beg the past president.
You were inspired to have taken
Yeah,
it.
I was in spirit. That's why I say that was a traditional means. I was in spirit when I went for that photo.
Somebody might say that maybe you beg the madam for favor and she has not done it, so it's making you so bitter with her. What you got to say about this?
No, the problem with some of us is clear. I supported Mana Edith in 2 elections,
Mhm.
and people think we are better with Mana Edith. No. In 2011, I supported Mana Edith. In 2014,
Mhm.
I was the head of press and propaganda for Mana Edith
Mhm.
in district number 1,
Mhm.
Ganta.
Mhm.
We were focused. There were no radio stations that could defeat Mana Edith when it came to calling, discussing issues, send messages. No.
Mhm.
And we did that.
this is what Madam Edith said to your picture that you published.
Mhm.
Oh, let me go down to where I
Yeah,
always
go
begin.
ahead, kerosene.
Go ahead, explain.
Okay.
Put it there.
Even the
So
pool washer,
why are you not supporting her this time? Saying
even
indeed you are not angry because she did not favor you. Why are you not? Probably you requested for certain amount of money and she did not give it to you right away.
the
Why? Why?
dealers,
Mhm,
anything that comes from a dealer more is a policy.
mm,
If you don't respect it, don't accept critical thinkers
mm.
to follow you.
Yeah.
The madam could be the best ambassador for travel balance in Nima because from 2011 to 2020, that was our best message for travel balance. She introduced that to us that we needed because before we were born and Nima will have one gill, one man, one gill, one man. So when we had a two gill,
Mm,
that debate started with the madam introduced that we should have a travel balance. Now that in 2024,
mhm.
the people of Nima accepted the madam argument and they have the travel balance. So it means that she has introduced a strong policy or she has reminded the people of Nima that what they started, they have forgotten about it and they listen in 2024.
Kerosene. For the sake of time, why are you not supporting the madam this time around?
But when I'm laying the papers, I'm
She played
supporting
a
the
But no,
madam.
I mean, I think we should let him to expand because he's saying some things here
Okay.
on the issue of being consistent. Is
Okay.
that why you're talking about consistency?
Okay.
He said Madam Edith Gongloware
Mhm.
went into Nema and introduced the idea that there should be a travel balance.
Yeah.
If I understood your argument.
Good.
Mhm.
Now what?
Yeah. Go
Since
ahead.
he introduced a travel balance, what happened now?
Before we were born,
Mm-hmm.
the elections in Nema
Mm.
have been one Gio, one Mano. And after the war, it was one Mano, one Gio, Prince Johnson, the late Prince Johnson, and that's Mr. Adolfo Dolo. So the argument continued in 2011 that one Mano should still occupy the space. So they got one Mano, one Gio. And because we had two strong Mano in the race, Mana Edith and Adolphus, that Senator Gubi came and collected a small thing and put it together. So in 2014, the argument continued that we should have one man or one girl. Senator Johnson won. The late Senator Johnson won. In 2020, the argument continued one man or one girl. The current VP won. In 2024, the argument, it was a better argument, a debate all over that we should have one man or one girl. Yan were elected from the Mano tribe. Automatically, we have one Mano, one girl. Senator Johnson and Senator Twain. Senator Johnson died in the process. The debate started and the people of Nima accepted. So now you brought about a policy that people been forgetting. This thing was happening, not continue on the path. They accepted the path. Why should you come back when you know very well that you started this thing? We have one man already. Say you want the country to be united in all forms. Why now you say you want one man, one girl, don't have one man, and now girl is out? You can't be the one to continue with the policy. You say I said it before, and this is what happened. So let's go and get one girl to go. So the way our forefather used to do this thing, that is continue. There where my problem started with the madam. Exactly there my problem started. If the madam chosen to support NSR in this election, the Giosa, I will follow the madam. But the fact that she came in the picture now to contest, no. It means that what she was saying it was for individual benefit, but not for the country interest. That's why I left her.
Oh.
Hmm.
So kerosene.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said the madam preached this thing and people went by it. People understood it. They went by it. Something that had already been accepted by the people that you are saying of. If it is true, then what could change it around 2011 that somebody from the minor settlement could not go? If it was something accepted by the people.
The madam or the cause.
What she told the people not to give it to anybody from minor settlement?
Yeah. And you can ask why, how.
How?
Good. In 2011, the madam was superintendent. Edobo Doro was minor man. He was senator. At that time, they were going for 6 years, junior senator.
Mm-hmm.
So when the election came, the madam was superintendent. She desired to contest, and she had the strength. Edobo Doro was contesting for a re-election, and the United Party, which I belong to, were also supporting him. Now, what happened was the ex-president at that time, Manasedi, called my political leader at that time, Mana Edith, and told her, you people have a tradition with the issue of one man or one girl. But if you contest in a double contest with two of you popularity, you will divide the man of people vote. So the man asked her, what I can do for you is withdraw from the election. When I win, I will make you general minister instead of being superintendent. She told the Madam Sally, that I'm educated, no one can make decision for me. And that's the madam gave her option. He said, you either resign or I dismiss you. That's how she chose to resign from a post as superintendent. She spent 1 year, 6 months. So she and Duffer went into the election now. With their popularity and strength, they divided the vote from the Mano side. And Gubi was only the strong person from the Kyo side. Automatically, this is how two Kyo men went in the house.
So with that happening, does that still mean that the agreement stays stand?
For the one man, one Kyo,
Yeah, the one man on one girl.
yeah, it was accepted in 2024.
Okay, kerosene.
Yeah.
Since 2005,
Mm-hmm.
there has been no candidate from any other tribe from Nimba to serve a full-term senatorial position.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 9 years. Nobody has come from any other tribe except Une Gio. Kerosene.
Mm-hmm.
Nimba County has 11 lawmakers right now.
Yeah.
You got every one of them to be Gio. Only 4 people from the other tribes, like Mandingo and Mano.
Mm-hmm.
Kerosene.
Yeah.
There have been no other tribe to actually serve
Mr. Yene,
by choice.
I have a
let me
line.
just announce, that we'll be having Mr. Kelebo Gonglo coming on shortly because he wants to contribute to the debate.
Yeah, okay.
So you can go ahead and ask your question while
So,
Mr. Gonglo.
Don't forget the Adiba into
there have been
Yeah,
no
the Adica issue will come. Mhm.
there have been no other tribe. There have been no other tribe to be elected by choice into the senatorial space of Nimba. What have you to say about all these things?
Thank you. If the law has supported junior senator going for 9 years, somebody will come from the minor tribe to go for 9 years. But at that time, the law was supporting 6 years. So they were going for 6 years. And the issue of the whole tribal thing
Mhm.
is clear. But we will say the truth, not because of politics but it's the truth.
Mhm,
In politics,
mhm,
in life,
mhm,
you have the law, you have the logic, you have the tradition or the culture. Now,
mm,
in Nima,
mhm,
originally,
mhm,
you have two tribes. In Nima,
mhm,
originally you have two tribes.
mhm.
The
Okay,
rest of the three
so
tribes,
Yene, why you holding your stand? Let's welcome Mr. Gonglo to the debate tonight.
All right, thank you. So I just want to, before Mr. Gonglo gets the flow to introduce himself and to come up, I just want to find out certain thing quick from Kerosene, quickly. So, Kerosene, you
mhm,
said you talk about tribal balance. You said the tribal balance have been accepted. Madam Ile Gonglo where has violated it. So tell me,
yeah.
why if the Unity Party were not coming to win the election with Jeremiah Kun for Jeremiah Kun to be elected from that position? Do you think Mano Men were coming to be a senator as Nyantuan is?
The Malakan will be senator in 2029.
No, we're talking about present. We nobody predicts the
Okay,
future.
Yes, that was the
so
only time.
I
No,
try to
that was the
understand. I
only
try
time
to
there
understand something
could be
before we bring
election.
Mr. Yene. Before we bring Mr. Kalebo in,
Mhm.
I wanted to ask you this question:
Yeah.
what is the harm in two minor people being senators when we have an example of two Gil people being senator? What is the harm in it?
Why is harming it? Those all who preach this, we will be calling for the division because we ourselves brought this issue of carrying two men. Say now we ourselves corrected it, they'll continue it.
Okay.
Other than that, there will be seriousness from the corner. You know, the issue of the division of Nimba you hear it was based on having two men.
Right.
Right after election, you will hear that Nimba will be divided because we have two men.
So, Kerosene, point of correction. I think the issue of Nima division it was not based on tribal thing. The issue of Nima division was based on job creation. Let's get it clearly. Nima
No,
candidate,
after election.
Nima no, because if it
Okay,
was
okay,
true,
okay.
if it
Mr.
was
The
based on
two
tribal
yenes,
thing,
the two yenes. I want you to please hold your,
yeah,
Mr. Yene. I want you to hold your question
okay, okay,
on before we talk about NIMA division because we come to that NIMA
okay,
division as a
okay,
progressive
yeah,
topic.
yeah.
But let me bring in Mr. Gonglo. Mr. Gonglo, the argument of kerosene Yene is Madam Poa. No, no, I'm sorry, Madam Gonglo were uh, preached the travel balance that he used to support Madam Ware. That Madam Ware said, "Look, we can't have two Gil people in the House or in the Senate at the same time. We need to have a travel balance." Now she preached it. She wants to violate it. Mr. Kelsey, Mr. Yene, am I representing you quite correctly? So,
Exactly.
yeah, what do you say about that?
Are you asking me?
Yes,
All right.
Mr. Gongolo.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Lawrence and Kerosene Yene. I'm happy to be on the show to share this platform with you briefly because it is 1:14 a.m.
Right.
On my side, and
Yes.
I can give. Thankfully, I'm not going to work tomorrow. I teach in the Philadelphia School District, and Philadelphia they recognize the Muslim holiday, so schools are closed tomorrow. So I can stay up a little bit and get up later. But before I respond to your question, I think I'd like to make some correction if you allow me to do.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I listened to you briefly. When people start to establish falsehood, uh, outrightly mislead the public either out of ignorance or as a deliberate act, I find it difficult to engage in discussion with them because this brother, Kerosene Unit, knowledge of history is very deficient. He briefly you were just talking about Nima division. I know he's a very young man, so he doesn't know all of the context of the different discussions. Since I'm older, I assume I'm older than him because I don't know him. I haven't met him before.
I might say I older than him, man.
Yeah. So like you have heard Lower Nima and Upper Nima, the people of Tabata district, the late Gisikpan, Dr. Senkpan father, is well established. The history is there. They've always advocated openly that there should be two counties, Lower Nimba County and Upper Nimba County. That Sanugole was too far from Tapeta. The county was too big to be under one administration. They needed to split it into Upper and Lower Nimba counties. And if you recall, even during Charles Taylor time, he may not be aware of this. There is a radio station in Tapeta called Radio Lawe, headed by Tranglica. Kerosene, you may not know this. There is a reason why Tranglica named that radio station Lawe, Radio Lawe. There is I think a river or whatever they call Lawe. Okay? Then there is a mountain in Yao Mesno called Zua. So there was going to be a county called Lao Zua County during Charles Taylor time. Ask anybody, any of the hierarchies from MPP, from NIMBA, they will tell you that. They actually drafted a resolution, they carried to Taylor, Taylor endorsed it. You know who stopped it? It was Yao Mesno District. We needed to just sign on that because Lower Nimba, traditional was just Yao Mesno District, what is today District 9, and Tabata District, the Bo and Kuda, right? So all the other side, I would say the Gio side, sign on to that. The Laozua County during Charles Taylor time in 1997. When it came for Yao Mesno citizens or elders to sign on that, they had a meeting in Zikapa and they rejected it, that they wanted to remain with Nimba headed by Sanukole. That's what stopped it. So, in terms of the history of people calling for it, it has been there. In fact, in this election, there's no one candidate that has actually taken a draft bill and submitted to the legislature to create 3 counties. And in that bill, they didn't call it division, but to create 3 counties. They said that will create fair representation. As it is, Nema people are chown more people in one constituency compared to any electoral district in Grand Cru or Grand Jide or Sani. So for equal representation or democratic system, Nema and County Lebon or Monserrado, the citizens are not equally represented compared to other counties. That's the argument they made. Headed by Morris Way and Medrick Gonti, they took the petition to Samuel Koga, and Samuel Koga received it and drafted a bill and submitted it. Who stepped away? It was PYJ. These are on records, okay? They are on records, so you can't deny that.
So is Samuel Koga wanted to introduce a bill that was going to make 3 counties into Nima?
Very good.
3 times. And these are fact. So I just want to establish this basis. So if you're going to discuss this, so Kerosene does not mislead the public, because I think his knowledge on history is very deficient, either by deliberate act or for the fact that he doesn't know. So I'm here to educate him.
Mr. Gonglo, just to add up to it.
No, wait, hold on. We'll bring you in later on because he doesn't have a lot of time. When he leaves, we can discuss the remedy.
Okay.
But Mr. Gonglo, I want you to speak to his concern.
So now I'm going to come to this.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I will challenge Kerosene Yene here tonight and tomorrow and in the future. Kerosene bring one single radio recording or Madam Way recording for the division of Nimba. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
right now, or
You got any video or
Yeah, ask you to
any
bring the
newspaper, any text message or whatever?
right now.
huh? See that?
You were asking me to produce you the radio recording that told you it will be available right now. So I said, even if I ask that
Mm-hmm.
you say Representative Koga, our next senator to be, the draft bill you talk about that you call for the diffusion of number 3 times. To get a copy right now, it will not be.
So for that reason, you cannot bring your evidence about Madame
Right
Gonglo
now.
talking
That's
about
it, right now,
huh?
right now on the show.
Yeah, you got it, but you saying Mr. Gonglo is not
Okay, Lawrence, 1 minute. So I want to understand what you want to do. You want to send me an audio so I can play it, or you have something that you want to send for us to play that Madam Ware said that there should be equity of the tribal balance in the Senate.
All what you are campaigning, that one is not hard to be doing with
No, but
radio
do you
talk show.
have it? Do you have it?
Even if Mr. Gweklo, that means Mr. Gweklo statement that Representative Koga drafted the bill to be introduced and to have the creation of country in Nima, that if we ask them, they will not bring it.
Well,
They will
Let's
not get you
assume
copy of it.
we will give you the chance to respond to that, but you say you
Yeah.
have something right now. What is it you have right now?
No, I did not say I have something right now.
Oh, okay. You are asking whether they want you to produce something right now.
All right.
Yeah, they asked me to
Okay,
put something right
okay.
now. I
Then
said,
let's go back to
let's go back to
let's go back to Mr. Gonglo. Then a comment will come back to you to
Okay.
respond. Is that okay?
So the reason I asked this question is, if I will end on this note, I know time. I know time Madam Way called for the division of Nimba. This is just mere propaganda, right? For example, Gibson, I will explain here for your listener to listen to it. Um, Kerosene and others, and Kerosene knows Madam White, saying he said he has been behind her in previous election. He knows her. This woman, they just get her and coin propaganda. Oh, this one here can just be in America election, she just come. Do you know, I will say it for the public, you know, even though it's personal information, that will divert you. In 2011, after 2011 election, that woman did not leave Liberia. She was there until Ebola came. And you know the requirement when you have green card, you must come to the United States within 6 months. She remained in Liberia. She lost her green card. She was in Liberia from 2011 up to 2016. In fact, her son, Bigo Martin, has to file for her like a new immigrant to come to the United States like a new refugee. That's how long she stayed. And she came every year, she goes back to Liberia. In the last 3 years, she has been going to Liberia twice a year, twice a year, twice a year. So, and she, one person, she said, look, I am a Liberian. I'm qualified to go for citizen. She has not even taken the American citizenship. She always travel on a Liberian passport. She said, I'm a leader. I'm not even become citizen of any other country, right? This is a woman. But they come with this propaganda anytime. Oh, the woman is this. But guess you know the result? In every single election, and Kerosene is here. If you were in, were you were in 2020, Kerosene? You can say yes or no.
I did not support her in 2020. I was not active with that.
Okay.
And I told her I was not supporting her.
Yeah, but it's established from multiple sources that she did win the election. You know, and it's not a debate tonight, and the facts are there. And and that was the same allegation. Oh, they want you came from America to come here. But then why is it that Nema voters keep believing in her and the propagandists keep saying, repeating the same thing? And kerosene will admit that if you were there with her in 2011, you will say yes, that it was the same allegation, but she still got more votes. Okay, even the argument he's making on Adolphus Dolo, when you go logically, you go in a competition. If kerosene myself in a running race, if I run If I cover 400 meters, maybe in 9 minutes, and Kerosene cover it in 20 minutes, and both of us lose, who maybe participation has caused the others to lose? It will be him because he took longer time. I took less time. This woman got like 44 plus thousand votes compared to the person they claim she caused his defeat, who got 10,000 votes.
I want you to speak, Mr. Gonglo. I want you to speak to something here.
Yeah, which
Uh,
one?
the people, many people are going with the notion that there is a harm in two minor people becoming senator. That we have Yan Twain already a senator, and if Madam Gonglo wins, there will be two minor people. Can you speak to that?
Yes, Dennis, I can speak to that. Historically,
Gibson, Dennis not here tonight.
oh, sorry, no, we
Yeah,
use
no problem. That's
Dennis,
okay.
we use the Dennis on
Yeah, no problem. No
sorry.
problem.
So historically, our people have always said lower number and upper number. It has never been about tribe, because even when the whole concept was that we have, in fact, Maningo used to be many in Nimba. Maningo was the third largest tribe in Nimba before the war. It is just the civil war that reduced the number of Maningo people today. Maningo used to be the third largest ethnic group in Nimba. So it was not going to be, someone say, one girl, one man. When Maningo people were just like inching next to us, right? So it was always lower number, upper number, lower number, upper. At no time did Nimba elders introduce that, right? Because if you go on the travel thing, there's a danger in it. They will say, oh, there's a minor town. But then they could favor maybe a less prepared minor person and say, well, that the people minor people presented. Then you are in a quagmire. Nothing like that. But Gibson, I will end on that. Yeah, there's no danger in that. The argument has been on lower and upper, because the thing is, Gil and Mana are intertwined. You can't even split Nema and say there's a borderline here for Gil, there's also from. No, no, no. There's nothing like that. It's difficult. You're not gonna have a straight edge. Okay? So it's not possible. It has always been lower and upper. But let me add this to Gibson. You can ask Kerrison, saying you are the moderator. Kerrison claimed that when I came here, you were giving a fairy tale, a very fallacious one, that Ellen Johnson Sally told Madam Way, oh, they one man and one guillotine. And when you be, I'll make you Deputy Minister of Justice. Can Kerrison for the public say who told him that? Because I know he has never sat one-on-one with Madam Way, Madam Sally. Madam Sally never went on radio because I was in Liberia at that time. In fact, I was a government official. I'm knowledgeable of this issue very well, and I can even say publicly what and how much I know about it. Can he explain to us how he got the information and who told him? If he wants to be honest, let him call the name of the person I explained it. Because I can get
Okay. Okay, so let's go to Mr. Yene. Mr. Yene, you got any response to what Mr. Gonglo has said?
Thank you. In the first place, to defeat the argument of the next senator to be Senator Koga introducing a bill, we will challenge them on the draft bill, the drafted bill they talking about to send it. When it is done, he will resign from the race. That's the first challenge. That it was representative that introduced a bill for the division about the creation of counties in Nima. We challenged that and asked them to produce it. They had from now to we dare give them 2 days. If so, he will resign from the race. Because I know it's not truth, they will not have copy of it. And on the issue of the division of Nima and having Mano and Guillaume, the madam have been the one campaigning from place to place all of the Mano times. Mami can do there, mean like Mano people you can all time. That is not argument. The mother had a campaign in the Geo region. Even when she was superintendent, she never visited about 10 times in the Geo region. So everything about the madam or campaign will be in trouble. Now that we had two iron campaign a change to gender balance, and she had never supported a female in election in Nima. Or campaign made that change because we had Nyan. A Nyan
But you
was
said
not
never supported a female. Who was there any
never.
female? Was there any female
Yes.
that she didn't support?
About 11 presidents are contested, 11 females are contested. Since she contested in 2011 in Nima. And in 2017, when Kuku Yenze asked her to support, he told Kuku that, and today Kuku is supporting her because Kuku go to church. She told Kuku that you know Pope, so I can support him.
You say, well, Kugu supported because she go to church?
Yeah.
This guy.
So me Kuku I forgiven her because she told Kuku that I can support you. Yes, you are not educated. 2020 she went to Kuku and Kuku said I will not support you because I'm not educated. But this time she went to Kuku and begged Kuku and Kuku accepted. So the man had no history of supporting a female in election in Nima. But now she has changed the measures around her gender balance. Do Kanu so Yidemo. The women pull up on me. So the mother measures all around have been mommy. So when you say mommy, it means that man of people, you can like all time. That's how been the campaign. I campaign with the mother throughout.
Which year?
I campaign with the mother from door to door 2014. So this is not about it started from the pillow, it started from the pillow. This generation start hearing it from Madam Edith. Oh man, if you don't know, this generation we in started hearing it from the madam.
Okay, so we're going to go to the phone line, but before we go, let me give Mr. Gonglo a chance because he has was not here earlier. I want to give you a chance to speak one more time, and then we can go to the phone line.
All right, so thank you. I just want to also clarify to debunk some of the lies. You know, when you come to public discourse, one of the most important things in public discourse is to be honest because you are trying to educate the public. If you come there with the desire only to mislead, it's unfortunate for your platform. For example, when Madam Way was lieutenant, they can't the Belgian women, I think it's either Belgian Inner Women or Belgian Women Association, will testify that. In fact, that was a place she visited the most. She used to sleep in Campley for Como. In fact, they adopted her as one of the children of daughters of Belgium, right? Like she even went to Ellen Johnson Sally, and Ellen Johnson Sally helped the Belly Women Association she was working with to get them a car motor so they can bring their goods to send to the market, their beta boys and all that. That is the only district in Nima she did that, and that's a Geo district. Okay? And in every election, she goes to most of the Geo town. Not all, most, but she will visit every single district, every big electoral town in the Geo town. She'll do it. So there was I know every election, for some reason, people engage in deliberate lies, they call it propaganda. Like PYJ was the ringleader of that. He was a grandmaster of that. You say, oh, this madam here does not like your people. No, you shouldn't vote for her. Of course, she was in competition with him in most election. He will put a candidate either against her or it will be himself in a race. So he has to speak to his people in a way, in a quarter way, to get on his side. So that leaves you the candidate. Every politician go to where that stronghold is to campaign the most and hold your stronghold. Okay?
Yeah, but
Very much. We will go to the studio to
I think Lawrence wants
CEO, one thing. I think when it comes to running campaign, I really don't see it to be any big issue because even Senator Prince Johnson, the late, he not used to run campaign.
Yeah.
People not used to see him anywhere, but they were voting him. So should it be a problem now when you go somewhere to certain time, you let out people, then me Prince Johnson never let the people at Nima?
Yeah. So
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Yene. Thank you very much. We'll come back to our closing. For those of you who are listening to us and you want to place your call, 0779 07907, 0887 111 For the females, is 0778 075 1616. And for those of you who want to call on the WhatsApp number, unfortunately, you can't call the WhatsApp number that is on the screen, but you can call 612-607-9281. 612-607-9281. Let's go to our man, Clifton Redney, in the studio to take some call from our Clifton. Are you there? Clifton, are you there? I don't know.
Maybe Clinton is sleeping.
He can't be sleeping because Clifton Rainey, are you there? Let me see if the radio is on. Clifton Rainey, are you there? Okay, the radio is on, and I don't know if anybody in the studio there, you can go and wake up Clifton Rainey to put our calls through. If not, we will continue to discuss. Let me go while we wait for Clifton to wake up. Let me go back to you, Mr. Gonglo. People talk about gender balance in the legislature or in the Senate. How important is that message?
Yeah, look, Dennis, in this day and age where we are now, I can't belabor this point more than I can. But the evidence is clear. Look at the Scandinavian countries, Finland, Sweden. These are countries where women in the parliaments are in big numbers.
Mhm.
They are among the wealthier countries in the developed countries. They are the one with the most progressive social development agenda. Where today in Sweden, people are having a basic income law that every Swedish citizen is entitled to certain income in order to live at least a basic to meet basic needs of life. It's because of the women leadership that have been displayed in the Scandinavian countries. If you go to Rwanda today, we boast of Rwanda because women are leading on the budget committee. Rwanda got more than, I think, 64% of their parliamentarians are women today. In fact, they have the highest in the world. Okay. Paul Kagame designed that deliberately and said, the way I will develop this country, bring more women in the mainstream of politics, and women are human beings, can be corrupt, but they will not be as aggressive as men to the extreme. So Paul Kagame did that and it's working. Paul Kagame has the highest number of women ministers in Africa today. So I think there is a good reason why today Liberia as one of the first in Africa and Ethiopia, Liberia does not even have up to 1% female representation in the parliament, let alone even in the cabinet, right? And this is why Councillor Gonglo, when he was contesting in 2023, he made a pledge. It was part of the 10-count agenda that if you were to win, 50% of the cabinet from the get-go would be women. And after 2 years, you increase the participation of women in the cabinet. So it's a good thing to bring women in the mainstream because women perform 80% of the chores in the home. They are the strongest creatures, or I would say, human being that God ever created, women are the strongest in the world. Because I'm sitting here even with my wife in the house. I know how much she does. I'm sitting behind this computer screen in the basement. She's up there working with the kids. She's cooking. She's sweeping. She's cleaning up. She's coming down here. Washing machine next to me here. She's doing the laundry. I'm still sitting there looking out. Women are strong.
Mr. Gongo,
Yes.
so you are one of the stakeholders in NIMBA. Is there any reason why NIMBA has had no female representation to the Senate since 2005, and since 2011, NIMBA has had no female lawmaker at all? Is there any reason why?
I think women are special in a way that they are not confrontational, right? Politics, and they don't engage in aggressive conduct. So politics has become like life and death struggle in Liberia because of what people go in the legislature and get, Lawrence. Because of that, whenever women try to even develop interests, the way men approach them, you have to be a very strong woman to stand up and say, I'm going. And I give it to Madam Way. In fact, every time I ask her, my sister, what keep you going? She said, listen, as long as the women of Nimba don't see the reason to give women the chance, I will keep contesting. I will be that platform that women can vent their anger through. If there is a woman today that is coming in the race, I will step by and that woman go. But we have to keep, in fact, our hope is that there will be a time that there will be even 2 female senators from Nimba. Because we have had historically 2 male senators from Nimba. I mean, her dream is if she had become senator today, she will be fighting to have men or women contest in the different districts in 2029. Okay, that is her dream.
Guys, let's go to our line. Our man Clifton Renning has come to himself. Clifton, are you there? Clifton, are you there? Clifton, you need to come on. I need to know you are coming on. You need to put off your mic. Open your mic. I don't know why he just answered me just now. Call me Clifton. Call me Clifton. Call me Clifton. Okay, I mean, since we're having issues with taking our calls tonight, we will rather. But, Mr. Gonglo, I wanted to ask you one more question before I let you go, and then Mr. Yin and I can close it. And that question is: recently, the vice president made a statement in Nima County. I don't know how you and the Madam Ware can consider that comment when he said the Mano people should now waste their vote and vote for any of the Mano candidates. They should vote for Koga. How did you receive that message?
Dennis, thank you. That statement was that statement was very unfortunate, and there are a number of reasons why it was unfortunate. Okay, and first it has to do with the office of the vice president, because Vice President Kun or Khan is vice president for the Republic of Liberia, not vice president for Nimba.
Yeah, right.
So to begin with, he has to begin to see his office in that context. That I'm vice president. I'm a property of the state. I belong to all Liberians now, not Nimba County alone. I could come from Nimba, but when it comes to Nimba thing, I should treat it as in just I would treat issue in bombing in other places. And I think that's the first place to begin. And I think he erred on that. As a first citizen in the country, if I were advising him, this is something behind the kitchen talk with maybe contestant or with others in Nima. It's not publicity talk. It's not radio talk. Okay? Because Lawrence is here. I don't know how much Lawrence monitored that from Nimba, but I think the reaction of the public was so negative from reliable sources that he himself got scared. He said, but they Koga man here, I put myself in trouble. That Koga business, the people going against me like this. So if you're maybe of a different geo person, maybe the response would have been different. Maybe I shouldn't have stuck myself with the Koga man. Koga is so unpopular. Look at the reaction of the public. They were talking to me, not like I'm vice president for them. So I think he realized quietly that he shouldn't have made that statement the way he made it. Okay? I mean, I talked to people who are close to him, and some of them have quietly admitted that he himself quietly admitted that, hey, he shouldn't have said it the way he said it. Maybe he needed to moderate his voice. His choice of words needed to be different. Like you vote for it, you waste your vote. When you tell someone you're wasting your vote as a vice president, it got different and deep interpretations. That I don't care what you do, you're not winning. Even all of you guys will steal your vote, will deny will neutralize. There are so many ways people can look at the vote. That, the vice president already indicated that he's going to rip the. And Mayu Gibson, he made that statement 2 weeks after the finance minister appeared on OKFN and said they already got money for the second by-election in Nimba. I don't know if you follow that. Which presuppose right there that how can the finance minister say they already have money for the second by-election? So the finance minister also concluded that there will be a Koga win and there will be a second by-election.
Wow.
Yes.
We are not hearing you, CEO.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you very much for coming on. We are really. I'm sorry we cannot engage the public tonight. We usually did. Our man in studio is not. Let me see. Clifton.
Why you don't come out the time people will be up?
Yeah, no, we do come all the time. We got 2 programming a day. Clifton.
I will see you guys, man.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Thank you very much.
Thanks for providing the information.
That's my first appearance here, so maybe I'll come back. Do you do on Saturday?
We come on throughout the week.
Okay, Saturday, yes. Maybe Friday night, Saturday night, yes. I can be
okay, no problem. Yeah. I will set a time for that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. That's the Mr. Kelebo Gonglo came on to respond to some of the things that Mr. Kerosene Yene was saying. I mean, what do you make, Lawrence? What do you make?
Yeah, actually, it was a good decision he took by coming to bring so many clarity because Kerosene, most of what he's saying,
I know you have problem. Also, you try to give him many questions, and I try to. Yeah, I can see that you find yourself not believing some of the things he was saying.
Yeah, because like what Mr. Gonglo said about the division of Nimba that he was talking of. Yeah, saying that it came about as a result of tribal balance. No. And it was so good that Mr. Gonglo came to provide that clarity that how Nima division came about. That I knew something about it, but it was limited only to the job creation. That they were talking that when Nima is divided like into 3 counties, there will be 6 senators, there will be in fact 3 superintendents, There'll be 3 CEO jobs will be there. These are some of the good things we heard of it that time. But it was Koga that took this information to the house, and it was PYJ that stepped on it, along with some of the stakeholders from NIMBA. But they are not addressed. Even Mike Bluon came on this show the other time. Mike Bluon spoke of it. Mike said that it's Koga that been pushing the division of NIMBA. But the guys would always take it and put it on man and eat it. Yeah, actually, their lack of convincing voice to the voters. So they're looking for every means, all means they're looking for it. They know that Koga cannot win this election. See what Koga is doing. Where will Koga go? You said Prince Johnson was a traditional man. You are going to join over a body so you can get that heritage from him, which of course traditionally he was not the one to have done that. Okay, he did it. They see Koga now. He has come again. He has divided money on people to go build religious monument for Prince Johnson with Bible in your hand. They see man, you say you were traditional man, you join over a body. you see confusion.
I saw that statue don't look like Prince Johnson.
It does not even look like Prince Johnson.
That person that did the work, the person did a bad work. I think I can do a better job than that person.
Koga is just confused around one job here. He better than want the job. Then when again, he starts saluting again. Whether I know that military or monument, or then he praying on it again. That villager monument, he signing a cross. God and follow the soul, the Koga, the whatever.
Okay, Brother Yene, thank you very much. Unfortunately, our man in studio, I don't know if he's having issues to take a course tonight, this morning, but we are going to leave it right there. Tomorrow, my man Archie is going to be here and he will take over and then we will continue. We want to say thank you very much for coming on. Thanks to all of those who have contributed to this process.
The owner radio is very clear. I can always monitor it.
Oh yeah, very, very clear. It's very, very clear. Okay, Brother Yene, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
That's how we're going to end this broadcast tonight on this program. You have been listening to Wake Up Call, a program designed and run by my man Archie say Bob Yene. You couldn't be here tonight, this morning. I keep saying tonight because I'm in Fargo, North Dakota, the US of A. My name is Gibson Giroux. We apologize for not taking your calls tonight. This was technical reason. But in the meantime, I want you to join the Mighty Drums. And wherever you are, begin to dance with your feet. Don't dance with your hair like myself. From me to you, it's goodbye from me.